Wars used to be declared. Ships flew flags. Enemies claimed responsibility. Now the most decisive battles can be fought without a single public demand, without a single border crossing, and without anyone ever admitting it happened. Meridian pulls the shadow wars into the bloodstream of the modern world, global logistics where power doesn't need bullets when it can decide what arrives, what spoils, what never leaves port, and what your city runs out of first. When port explosions and accidental shipping disasters begin stacking into a pattern, the world treats them like isolated tragedies: a crane failure here, a collision there, a fire in the wrong warehouse at the wrong time. But Ethan Stroud sees the second-order effects: fuel shortages that ripple into transportation paralysis, medicine delays that turn hospitals into triage zones, localized riots sparked not by ideology but by empty shelves. As an ex-Marine intel officer and systems thinker with field teeth, Stroud is wired to notice when chaos is too clean. When the same kind of accident keeps happening at the same kinds of nodes. When supply disruptions align perfectly with leverage points, cold chain hubs, refineries, customs clearance systems, port terminals built for automation and therefore vulnerable to timing and data. The deeper Stroud digs, the clearer the truth becomes: scarcity isn't an outcome. It's a tool. A private logistics security consortium is engineering shortages of fuel, food, and medicine to force governments into dependency, then stepping forward as the only entity capable of restoring stability. The pitch is seductive because it isn't framed as conquest. It's framed as service: security packages, risk mitigation, continuity contracts, and relief convoys run by private operators who look more competent than exhausted public agencies. Leaders want the crisis to end. The public wants shelves stocked. And that's where the consortium wins, by exploiting the human tendency to accept a convenient lie if it solves today. At the center of the scheme is Julian Vane, a logistics tycoon who treats throughput graphs like a battlefield map. He is not a warlord, he is a scarcity architect, someone who understands that in a networked economy, control of movement is control of governance. His method is technical but legible: manipulate insurance so carriers lose coverage unless they adopt his security, spoof maritime tracking to create ghost vessels and hidden diversions, disrupt PNT/GPS timing so scheduling, cold chain logistics, and payment settlement begin to fail in cascading waves. Then offer selective relief, saving cities on contract terms that quietly hand over port authority and operational sovereignty. Not by force. By precedent. The tone is global, fast, and technical but clear, with kinetic action grounded in ports, ships, and offshore infrastructure, places most thrillers treat as backdrop, but here become terrain. A container terminal at night turns into a mechanized maze where cranes move like predators and stacked steel becomes cover and choke points. A congested strait becomes a lethal corridor for a night boarding. A decommissioned offshore platform becomes a fusion node for routing fraud and data relays. And hovering behind every action beat is the book's central idea: warfare without flags is harder to stop, because accountability is always someone else's problem. Stroud's arc starts in cynicism: this is corporate crime, and hardens into a more frightening recognition: this is strategic warfare. Exposure alone won't stop it. A consortium that can create shortages can also survive bad press by simply offering the next shipment. So Stroud is forced into the book's true endgame, not just revealing the scheme, but breaking the mechanism, disrupting the infrastructure.